What's going on, boys? How you doing, Vinay? So let's get right into it. Obviously, very, very choppy, tricky action in the market recently. One day up, one day down. Bad news, good news. Doesn't really affect the market at all. Again, very low volume today. It was the same volume as we had on April 4th, right before a big red day. Not saying that happens tomorrow. Is OPEX? Anything is possible. We can get a big rip. We can get a big dump. Anything is possible. But today was very bullish. Why was it very bullish? Basically, we bullish engulfed yesterday's body of the candle. Obviously, the wicks, it's just an inside day today, guys. So basically, what you want to see on SPY tomorrow for direction. What's going on, Ricky? How you doing? So basically, tomorrow for direction on SPY, we got an inside day today. This is the high, this is the low. Basically, whichever way it breaks from today's high or today's low is probably the momentum that it's going to get going forward. So above 44411, we probably go up to the upper resistance at 44575. Below 43784, we go to 43665. It's just an inside day on SPY. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Again, there is OPEX, and there's always weird shenanigans on OPEX. We are currently sitting. Did we get over the 50-day moving at 441.16? So we closed above the 50-day moving average again. So SPY is just going down through the 50-day, up through the 50-day, and up through the 50-day again. So we close above. What's up, Tonka? How you doing? Other than that, I mean, tomorrow can be completely out of the blue. It does not have to follow the trend at all. There's a bunch of options expiring tomorrow. That's why OPEXs are so weird. What's up, Ginger? How you doing? And let's see what happens tomorrow. It can be completely bullish, can be completely bearish. It doesn't really matter what the trend is going into OPEX as much as it does what the big positions are on OPEX. If there's a lot of puts expiring tomorrow, expect a rally. If there's a lot of calls expiring tomorrow, expect a dump. It's just like previous OPEXs, as you guys see here. Where was it? February? No. Yeah, so it was the 19th of every month. You see May here, we dumped into OPEX and then a full rip on OPEX. Right here as well, June 18th, big dump into OPEX, and then we... Actually, what was June? Let's see, let's just go through it, whatever. So we had weakness going into OPEX, and the weakness continued on OPEX in June. July, same thing, dump into OPEX, and then the day of OPEX, August, they ripped it up. Then we have September 20th, big dump into OPEX, and they ripped it up intraday on OPEX. So a lot of stuff to consider here. I don't know which direction it goes. Right now, I do see a lot of put positions open overall on Twitter and online everywhere. What's up, G Money? How you doing? And just overall, there's a lot of people that are bearish on the market. So I'm guessing tomorrow's gonna be a rip day. But again, it's OPEX. Let's see what happens. QQQ taking out some key resistances today. I sent you guys this hourly little wedge this morning. I don't know why my trend lines keep changing. That's weird. Was it like that? Or was it like that? I don't remember. But yeah, so we sent this hourly wedge on QQQ this morning. We got the rip first thing in the morning almost. The first hour we got up to it, rejected at first, and then just absolutely ripped through. Then we struggled at this little close here at 345.75. Finally ripped through it at 230-ish. And then we got some follow through, and at the end of the day, some profit taking off the 200-day moving average. Let me change that line so you guys can see the 200-day. I don't know why it doesn't stay changed, but yeah. So it's that little white line right there. That's the 200-day moving average on QQQ on the daily, or on the hourly, sorry. Complete rejection from there, profit taking, a lot of volume selling. So let's see if we can get above that line tomorrow as well. 347.41. That now becomes a key on the hourly chart. 347.71. If we get above there, we can rip tomorrow. If we reject there tomorrow again, then probably more downside. XLF. So T likes this one long. Again, if you're in his play, you're gonna have to ask him because I don't really see a reason for it. I mean, it did bottom today. We have a lot of earnings tomorrow, guys. JPM completely missed earnings. It was pretty shitty earnings, if I'm honest with you. And a huge gap down. We're negative 3.22 on the day. Big gap down. We lost the previous lows as well. And just overall ugly chart, in my opinion. It looks like a rounded top here that's going to come down more. But let's see, maybe GS, I doubt it, but maybe GS or Citibank or Wells Fargo, they'll beat earnings. I don't know if they will, but let's see. So we got Goldman Sachs tomorrow, we got Wells Fargo tomorrow, and we got Citibank tomorrow. So let's see what they say tomorrow, and that will determine the next direction of the XLF. Other than that, let's go IWM. So the reason for these bounces, in my opinion, again, one thing I want to go over QQQ before I move on. QQQ has a gap to fill. You guys see I have an alert on this line right here, all the way to 348.50. So is it possible they just bounce this to the gap fill and then dump it again? That's very possible. That's where I'm leaning towards right now. But that does mean that tomorrow we should rip 2 points on QQQ, which could make a big move on tech stocks. So let's see if QQQ gets to 348.50 tomorrow, fills the gap, and then we have to see what it does from there. There is also a gap up here all the way to 350, almost 360, guys. 359.93. So do they fill these gaps before we go lower? As long as we don't go all the way back and take out these highs of 371.83, I think this is still a downtrend, guys. This is just a bear market rally. Obviously, like a huge rally here, but it doesn't really change much in the context that we're way off highs and this was a downtrend still. Even bounces in bear markets are very vicious, as you guys know. I'm still under the impression this is a bear market until they prove otherwise. We're well underneath the 200-day moving average on QQQ. And let's see what happens. I mean, we can fill this gap and then just continue to fill this gap as well. That'll give us a nice 4 or 5 day rip, because we are in oversold conditions in a lot. As you see, QQQ stochastics are way down here. Usually when they get way down here, we do get a nice bounce, as you guys see here, here, here. So we are due for a nice little bounce here. Do we get back to highs? I doubt it. I doubt we get back to 371. But let's see what happens starting on Monday, because OPEX is just shenanigans anyways. IWM also has a gap to watch. This gap is all the way to 202.51. We have not filled that gap yet. So 202.51 is a key level in IWM. We have to watch what it does off that level. If it goes and touches that level and rejects, that means it just wanted the gap fill and we're probably going to go lower. If it gets to 202.51 and continues, there's probably going to be continued strength in small caps for a little bit. VIX broke down today. Very clear. I sent you the 1 hour ascending wedge here. So QQQ had a falling wedge, which is my favorite pattern, like this. VIX had an ascending wedge, which is usually a bearish pattern. So what happened? Once we broke out of this little hourly wedge, straight down, straight through all the moving averages, straight through everything. There is some support here, and you guys see that at the end of the day there. Big hammer candle on the hourly for the last hour of the day. Other than that, let's see where we go tomorrow. If they want to pull back the market, I'm guessing VIX bounces and backtest this ascending wedge, which will get probably up to here or something. So let's see if they want to backtest the wedge before breaking it down, or if they want to get back into the wedge and create more volatility in the market. What's up, Andrew? AMD is one play that I took today. I really like the setup now that it's spent a couple days under $100. We are under this huge previous level of 99.23 to 100. But what happened today was big rip in the morning, obviously. I entered calls, but the reason I like this play is, first of all, it's a solid company. Semiconductors are always going to be in demand. Every single electronic you use is semiconductors. AMD is one of the best companies. Lisa Su is a great CEO. She has a 8 billion share buyback plan coming. What's up, Yeshi? How you doing? And you guys see the stochastics are as low as I've ever seen them on AMD. So let's scroll out a little bit. So AMD, we got stochastics at 485. We got RSI at 36 on the daily. It was at 32. So if you scroll out in time, back here, even back here during the dump, stochastics didn't get that low. Even during February 24th bottom, we didn't get that low. The only time we really got down in the down here in the stochastics was January 28th. And when we got down there on the stochastics and the RSI on AMD, look at the size of this bounce, guys. It was so fast, people couldn't even get in. Like, even if you chased, you couldn't get in this. 3 days, we got a bounce of about $13 on AMD. So again, I'm looking for that bounce. I gave myself time for next week. And I'm looking for a big play on this personally. Obviously, you guys are up over 25% on it today. If you wanted to take profits, perfectly fine. A lot of it depends on TSM earnings tomorrow. But at the same time, the technicals are lined up for a bounce. I know it's ugly. I know it's straight down in the hole. But when the daily, the 4-hour, and larger time frames, they get oversold like this, there's usually very big bounces on good companies. On good companies, guys. Not on Wish and that kind of shit. But like for AMD, Apple, Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, these kinds of plays are usually high percentage plays. Even like you go back on AMD, 4-hour. Look at this RSI down here. Look at the size of the bounce. 4-hour RSI down here. Look at the size of that. If we get this kind of bounce on AMD, our calls are going to be 200, 300%. So that's all I'm looking for here is a bounce play. I'm not looking. And if I'm right on this, if this is the start of the rally, on Monday, we should be up nice on AMD. And at that point, I'll roll them out into April 29th calls. So that's my plan. If we do get the bounce, I'm going to keep rolling them all the way to the end of April. And let's see. Let's see if tomorrow's bounce day or Monday's bounce day. It's going to happen soon. And the only thing, the risk that I see is one more dump, maybe down to these 90, 94 levels, 93 levels, and then they take it higher. But then we'll catch it again. So let's see what happens on AMD. I like the risk reward. I like the play. I like the catalyst of TSM earnings, and we'll see. Disney, again, I'm watching on watch again. I love the 135 calls for next week. It is rounding down here. We did not go and test the previous lows, which means it's forming a higher low. We do have a gap to fill to 135. So I do think Disney gets to 135 by next Friday at least, if not higher. And right now it just looks like accumulation. Same type of play, guys. Look at the stochastics. Look at the RSI. Look at the 4-hour. I mean, it's just a lot of stocks look like this right now. Just look like they're ready to bounce. Like, look at the 4-hour RSI when we got down here was around. It's just historical patterns, guys. It's nothing like crazy, but like 29 RSI back here. And then we had, today was a little bit higher. So it does look like the bounce is starting here, but it looks like accumulation to me. Like people are accumulating shares down here. And once it starts running, you're probably not going to catch it. Twitter is one play I want you guys to watch for tomorrow. I do think this one squeezes. There's still a lot of short interest in this one. And the flag's pretty nice. I mean, huge gap up on Elon news, obviously. Pulled back nicely. We have a support here now of 44.71. We have a resistance of 48. If it takes out 48 anytime soon, I think it goes flying to the 200-day moving average, which is at 51.42. So that would probably be my target if we get a rip tomorrow on those calls that I have. So let's watch for Twitter tomorrow. A lot of shorts to be squeezed in that one. Let's go into Tesla here. Again, Tesla, we did go down a lot. We filled the gap. What is this? 10.21.19. There's not much on Tesla, to be honest. There was a lot of call flow today. Obviously, the volume's a little bit reduced. It does look like a temporary dead cat bounce kind of thing to me right now. I do think we have a date to test the 50-day moving average at 924. If you're in Tesla calls, I mean, you got paid nicely today. It's up 35 points. And tomorrow, I do expect a strong day in the market, so you might get some more. But other than that, technically on the daily, it's not really showing too much to me. I mean, we're sandwiched in right between the 213 and the 50 EMA. And over 1024.63 probably runs more. Under 968.44 probably falls more. What are we doing? Tilray. Tilray, last one. Bookie likes this one. We went over it on the charting session. 629 was the support I gave. I don't know from where. I think it was a 50-day moving average. Yep. So 50-day moving average has moved up to 632 now, so you can get rid of that. Moved up 3 cents in 3 days. And as long as it keeps closing above 632, I think this one has room to the upside, especially with the moving averages starting to converge here. If we break over 664, 667 actually is a 21-day. So as long as that 50-day holds and we break over 667, which is a 21-day moving average, this is bullish, this is bearish. That's as simple as that. If it has any close under 632, it's bearish. Any close over 667, it's bullish. Let's do Airbnb, of course. Airbnb big rip. Okay. Let's see this. So we got stochastics are still down here, Yash. So this means the move is still early on Airbnb. If we are to go up, I think stochastics have some room up still. Let's go into 4 hour. Reopening plays were obviously very strong today. Delta reported earnings this morning. They were very strong. That helped the whole sector. As far as Airbnb goes, look at the volume. Beautiful volume means people are buying this stock. RSI is still not overdone on the 4 hour. It does look like it has higher to go, but I have this resistance drawn from a long time ago. I don't know if it's still in play or what. Hold on. Let's go into this. So it was support for a long time from May, July, August, this little support range. Once it finally broke underneath there, it became resistance a little bit. We did rip through it here, false breakout, small volume, came right back below it. Came up here again, tested it again, failed at the top end of the range. Right now we're at the bottom end of the range. If we do continue up on Airbnb, I like the setup. I like travel names right now. They are very, very strong. And if they do continue the rip tomorrow, Airbnb can go all the way to 177-ish. That's the next area that's hard resistance. If they fail it tomorrow, it can come right back down and start testing these moving averages around 165, 166. And that'll be support. But I like the sector right now, as you guys see. Delta, big day, 6%. AAL, American Airlines, up almost 11%. You got United Airlines, up 6%. You got EXPE is one you guys should watch. This one is strong. 4.88% on EXPE as well. And BKNG is another good one. This one used to pay a lot in options. I took one bad loss on it and I stopped playing it, but that's neither here or there. But this one has a gap to fill all the way to 2292 as well. So another 30 points left in this BKNG as well. And Airbnb weekly, we'll take a look at it real quick. Sitting right on the 50-day moving average, I like that. So okay, so Airbnb did defend the 50-day moving average this week. It defended it last week, defended it the last 4 weeks. Ever since it got through it, March 14th, it's been defending this 50-day moving average. So I do like that, and it does look like a bull flag on the weekly, with stochastics still going up and RSI still building. So Airbnb can run all the way into its earnings. It says May 12th on here. I'm not sure that's when it is, but it might be an earnings run up into earnings for Airbnb.